Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Dan Maybe Project. This episode is with Madeline Gebhardt. Madeline is well on her way to becoming a dietitian, and we talk a lot about nutrition and dieting and fitness and a lot of just overall health and her opinion on some issues that involve people in our community and how we can help people in our community with health and give them back a little bit. So, a little bit about me. Last week I kind of ranted, and I was talking about not using plastic bottles as much. Happy to say that I've used 3 plastic bottles all week, 2 water bottles and a chocolate milk carton. So, pretty proud of myself there. Also started working out again. I've really been, have this idea that I want to do all these adventures and, hike places and climb things and stuff like that. And I'm not physically ready to do that at the moment. And it's something that I've realized that I'm the only one who can change that. So, this episode is super timely for me because, like I say, I'm getting back into this whole deal of being healthy, and I've been starting to try to eat healthier, and we talk about that a lot in this podcast. So, still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so please subscribe to this channel. It costs you nothing, and it can only help me gain things. So, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with this podcast. Madeline and Ryan, her husband, both are really incredible people. I've gained a friendship with over the years, and I'm happy to know. And they were nice enough to welcome me into their home. And actually, Madeline gave me a to-go plate for some food, and that was delicious. And super appreciative of them and their friendship and allowing me in their home. And I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy this one as well. So, thank you, and let me know what you think. Peace. Hey, I forgot. I shot this in a little different manner, so if you like it, let me know. It's a whole lot simpler for me, without all the cutting and the editing. I realize it doesn't not necessarily give such a dynamic feel, but I really want the 3 camera setup, and I can't really do that right now with the GoPro because I don't like that the way it shoots in an indoor setting, I guess. So, yeah, let me know what you think about that, and shouts out to my boy Nathan Littleton for this intro. Yep.
No, it's fine.
Yep. All right, we're gonna try this again. Take 2. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time that I've done take 2, but it's okay.
It's perfectly fine.
I'm a firm believer in falling flat on my face, as
same.
I've mentioned multiple times. This is Madeline Gebhardt.
Hi, everyone.
Me and Madeline have been friends for a good while now. Starting middle school, we decided at a church youth group at the Axis.
Yep.
And had a small stint together in high school at West Monroe High School, and then she went over the river to OCS, and I guess we linked back up at Tech for some period of time there. But yeah, I guess like I was mentioning earlier that I brought you on here because I realized, or I've noticed your passion for nutrition, and I guess I said the way that you delivered it, knowing you and your personality, and the way that you delivered your information on Instagram, encouraging and being real about it, encouraging people to seek out truthful information from truthful sources and check your sources. And obviously, I'm generalizing that very, very broadly, but we're talking about nutrition and not politics here. So,
right.
But I guess, yeah, talk about your journey into becoming what you are now, and how you became so passionate about nutrition.
Okay, well, right now I am currently an online student at the University of Alabama. LSU fans, don't hold it against me. I will graduate in August, and then I start my dietetic internship in September, and that'll go through May. And then after that, I can sit for the licensure exam, and then I'll be a registered dietitian. Since I just went through all that, I'm going to go ahead and touch on this. You talking about me voicing that it's important for people to check their sources of where they're getting their information from for nutrition. It's really easy. You can just get on Google what you want. You can do that about everything, but if you were sick, would you just Google something? You know, everyone always makes a joke, like if you Google something, you know, it might just be a headache, it's going to say brain tumor. Obviously, 9 times out of 10, that's inaccurate, right? So why would you do that with nutrition? So the specialist and the expert on nutrition is going to be a registered dietitian. This is kind of confusing, but just follow me. All dietitians are nutritionists. Not all nutritionists are dietitians. So the difference is that anyone can go online and get a certification in nutrition. Anyone can say they're a nutritionist. To be a registered dietitian, you have to major in food science, you know, nutrition, something in that realm. And then after that, you have to complete a dietetic internship that's 1,200 plus supervised hours in all these different rotations. Then you take an exam, and then you're a dietitian. So
your personal trainer may be your nutritionist, but your personal trainer should not be your dietitian.
Right. And honestly, you know, I know that food is something that's kind of subjective. You know, everyone thinks they know everything about food, but I mean, we have to understand the chemistry behind the food. What are the metabolic pathways? Don't get me started on the keto diet.
Are you not a fan of the keto diet?
No.
That's interesting because I dabble in the keto diet.
No, do not. Okay, a dietitian will tell you that it's okay for short term. I mean, this diet was created back in the earlier 1900s for people that had like epilepsy and stuff, for the treatment of that.
Interesting.
Anything that is going to tell you to basically cut out a whole food group. I mean, I know they say keep it low carb, but your brain runs on carbs. That's all it can run on. Carbs are the main source of energy. You're actually supposed to get more carbs in a day than you do the other 2 macronutrients. So you're kind of depriving your body of what it really needs. And then it can also be dangerous.
Speak in layman's terms, what are the macronutrients?
So the macronutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay.
Gotcha.
For carbohydrates, they're supposed to make up 45 to 65% of your daily caloric intake. The others are proteins 10 to 25%, and fat is 10 to 35%. So you see how when you do the math, your carbs are supposed to be higher.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean stock up on processed foods or, you know, eat a loaf of bread or whatever. You want to eat good carbs. So that's like complex carbs like sweet potatoes and quinoa, brown rice, beans, peas, legumes, whole grain stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't say I've gone full keto. I mean,
Yeah.
I still eat burgers with the buns, and I may take the top one off or something. But
Yeah.
I find myself limiting.
And that's perfectly fine. You know,
carbs.
like if you're at a restaurant and they don't offer like a wheat bun and you know, you're eating fries with it, you know, if you only eat one of the buns, that's perfectly great. You know, people might look at you weird, but.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also not ignorant to the fact that, like, especially in the next couple months when it's like the temperature is 20 more degrees than it has been in the past 3, and I work outside all day, so I'll probably eat both buns at that point, just because I'm like needed
need
to
the
keep
energy,
going.
yeah.
So, yeah, well, I guess we digressed onto the keto diet, but I guess whenever I start thinking about eating a bunch of bread, this is kind of a weird deal maybe, but I think about like probiotics. Probiotics is a big deal in the market now, and I take one myself, but I feel like that is, whenever people start figuring it out, like they're like, oh, bread like really takes away a lot of these probiotics in my stomach, and I guess, what are some good ways to replace that without taking a probiotic, or what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so some good ways to get your probiotics would be yogurt. So yogurt, kombucha.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with what probiotics are, they're good bacteria for your gut, to maintain gut health. And there's a lot of studies coming out now that your gut health is directly related to your mental health. So what you eat, if you struggle with anxiety, I mean, I'll admit it. I mean, I do, I can tell a difference. It's crazy. If I were to eat, I don't really like to label foods as good and bad, but, if I were to eat not my typical healthy meal, I feel a little off the next day for multiple reasons. And so yeah, those would be the two things: yogurt and booch.
Yeah, I've been on the booch here recently. Kombucha boys.
Yeah, Ryan. I made Ryan taste it, and he was like, "Is this beer?" I was like, it's fermented.
Yeah,
but no, it's not beer.
At one point in my life, I decided that I was going to quit drinking soft drinks because I was drinking whiskey and Cokes all the time and stuff like that. It was at that time in my life.
All been there.
One day,
look at the dog.
One day I decided that to do that, I was to I guess gain the liking of whiskey. And I was going to drink some whiskey, in a glass. And ever since then, I've been able to do it, and I do enjoy the taste of whiskey. But it was
if I drink whiskey, it's not good for anybody.
I think I can speak to that, honestly. But I can remember, like, the first time that I had tasted kombucha, I was like, this isn't like the greatest thing that I've ever tasted, but it's definitely something that like I'm gonna acquire the taste of pretty quickly, and I definitely have.
Yeah, it's good.
I've enjoyed it. I've been just drinking the GTs. Haven't ventured out from that, but funny story actually. I went to the grocery store the other day, and for those of you who don't know, I work road construction, and I tend to look like a redneck some days with my Wranglers and my dirty shirts and whatnot.
Westerner roots.
For sure. So I was walking through Super One in Ruston the other day, and I walked over to the kombucha section, which, if you're not familiar, it's in the very corner of the store in the back. And there was this very pretty redheaded lady in a dress. She was standing there looking to her grocery list. And I walked over and said, "Excuse me, ma'am," and grabbed a couple kombuchas out of the refrigerator.
She was probably very confused.
No, she looked right at me, and she was like, "I'm really sorry. I did not expect you to come over here."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No worries.
I don't normally look like this."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's good stuff. So I guess I've seen you here recently. You're doing the grocery tour.
Yeah. So
tell us a little bit more about that.
I paired up with Hope Anderson. She is a registered dietitian in the area. If you need to see a dietitian for any reason, illness, just to understand how to eat healthy, she does grocery store tours on the regular. It's part of her packages that she has for patients. But yeah, for a class, I had to complete some objectives, and I thought, a grocery store tour would be fun. And it's crazy to think about how many people don't understand grocery shopping. And it's because most people try to overcomplicate healthy eating. You're always looking for the next fad diet, the quick fix. Those things are never going to last. What you're looking for is a lifestyle change. You got to be committed to it. And so with the grocery store tours, most grocery stores, we would tell you as registered dietitians to stay on the outer perimeter. So you're gonna, you'll have your produce and with your fruits and your vegetables, juices, yogurts, meats, dairy, which tend to say stay out of the middle sections. That's where you're going to find a lot of your processed stuff. I mean, of course, you know, to get rice and maybe some crackers, some cereals.
As soon as you said stay to the outside, I was like, oh, all
yeah.
right.
So it makes it easy. And while I'm touching on that, so I'll go ahead and talk about what a healthy plate needs to look like.
Go for it.
Your typical healthy plate, and this goes for pretty much everyone, unless you have some type of illness that needs a special diet. You want half of your plate, like, so if you were to get like a crayon or a marker and color it, so half of your plate needs to be color. So that's your fruits, your vegetables, your leafy greens, a salad, something like that. A fourth of your plate, about the size of your palm. I know that doesn't look very big, but that's a serving size of lean protein. So that's, you know, you think chicken, ground turkey, venison, salmon, you know, steak and red meat, it gets a bad rep, but just make sure it's like at least 93% lean if you're going to eat it. And then the remaining part of the plate needs to be carbohydrate, like I was talking about earlier. Make sure it's just a good carb. So a complex carb like sweet potato, brown rice, something like that.
Speaking on beef,
okay.
There's like are you more of a fan of grass-fed beef? Is that like something that you would?
Yes,
promote?
as dietitians, we promote when you're purchasing any meats. You need to keep in mind that all natural means nothing. It's just it's not a regulated term. People just slap it on there for marketing. You want to look for no antibiotics ever, no hormones, and grass-fed. That's what we would tell you. That's what I tell on
What
the
about
grocery store
organic? Is that, I know that's a hot word.
Yeah, organic is becoming more of just like a buzzword. You know, I mean, it is good to look for, but like in some cases, you know, you want to buy some of your produce organic and the others don't, because your organic is going to be more expensive. So let's say you're going to buy some lemons and use the lemon zest. So you're going to be using, you know, the outside. You would want to buy those organically because there won't be any of those pesticides on the outside. If you're just making lemonade or using it for the juice, don't buy the more expensive lemons. Buy the ones that are 40 cents. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
that's a great
bananas,
thing to keep in
you're
mind.
not going to eat the peel.
Yeah.
There's no point of buying them buying them organically. You just buy the cheap ones. So
I see where your logic is there. That makes sense. I guess with these grocery tours, I know they're like free is what you've been offering here recently.
Yeah, it's National Nutrition Month. So we're actually done with them for this month. The last one was this past Monday or yesterday. What's today?
Yeah, yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, yesterday. Can't keep my day straight. I have a 2.5-year-old, so sleep isn't a thing around here. But we will be offering more of them during the summer. So I'll post about it, try to promote it a little bit more than these. So
yeah, I mean, did you have a good turnout or?
Okay, so the first one, I was like freaking out that no one was going to show up. So my dad and my mother-in-law both surprised me. So it was basically me and them walking around the store and them making fun of me. So yeah, my dad had a heyday. And then, yeah, the other two, you know, I had some people show up that really wanted to learn, which, you know, I'm excited to talk about it. So if someone wants to talk about it, like, I'll talk about it till you tell me to stop. So yeah, it was good.
I'm just gonna do it. How do you feel about like things like Juice Plus and Advocare and that kind of deal?
Well, you just need to be careful about the supplements that you're taking because they're not regulated. No, not really. I do the collagen peptides in my coffee. Yeah. Sometimes I do take BCAAs. You know, they help with recovery and everything. And dietitians are, you know, I do my research before I take something. You know, I've done Advocare. After I had Spencer, I did it. I don't necessarily know if I would like get involved in the selling aspect because it's like, what is it called?
Tier.
Yeah, that.
We won't
So
we'll call it anything else than that.
yeah, so I feel like I would just be so stressed out if I did that. The Juice Plus, which one is that?
They have a couple different things, but there's from what I can tell, they have some pill forms, and it's supposed to have like a lot of nutrients.
Okay. I was just making sure this is the one that I just want to make sure. This is the one that Hope actually sells.
Okay.
Yes, it is basically, I can't remember how many servings of fruits and vegetables it is, because it's impossible really to get what you need every single day, because you're supposed to get like 3 cups of vegetables and like 2 to 2.5 cups of fruit. I mean, think about how much that is.
Yeah.
I mean, people fall short of that every day. So she takes that sometimes. So, I mean, yeah, I would recommend it. I've actually, I have a daughter that's a picky eater right now. She's 2.5. She's a 3-nager pretty much. But I've considered, once she gets old enough, if she's still having a lot of aversions to foods, it's safe for kids to even take. So
okay, cool. I had seen it before. I had some friends that sell it, and it was something that grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
But I guess I haven't really done the research into it to see.
Yeah.
How legit it is.
Ryan asked me about a supplement today, and I was looking at it, and I was like, absolutely not. No.
You just see something in it that you didn't like, or just
I mean, it just seemed, if something seems too good to be true, like lose 5 pounds in 10 days, like
yeah,
no.
Go get your body wraps.
Yeah. Yeah. How about just do some burpees? All right.
Well, and that's another thing. Obviously, you've kind of been a fitness head your whole life. I mean, honestly, Spencer has no chance because y'all are like 2 of the most competitive people I've ever met in my life. Like, she's bound for glory.
Did you see the soccer goal we had pushed behind our couch?
Oh.
Yeah, it's like slid under the couch. There's a soccer goal. We pull it out,
Go to town.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to like force it on her. I want her to be her own person, but his love was baseball, mine was softball. I just don't see how it's not going to be in her blood, But if she doesn't like it, she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's gotten in trouble. She's the sweetest thing ever until there's a ball involved with other kids. We have to like put them all up when kids come over. If they touch them, she's gonna like body slam them.
I would expect nothing
Yeah,
less.
it's pretty bad.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, talk to us about the challenges of being a mother and still going through school all the time. I know that's got to be.
Yeah, it's rough. I won't lie. You want to give everything you've got to your kids and to your husband. And, I went through my first degree and I was like, oh, school's hard. Yeah, it's hard because I wouldn't stop, drinking. I mean, come on. Now I'm like got a baby in my lap and trying to look over her to read my book. And it is hard, but it's so worth it. It's like, if I want to quit, she's why I don't, so yeah.
Pretty good motivation.
Yeah, she is.
And I know, I guess I've seen you do some like small personal training type stuff, and I know that's a passion of yours. Is that something that you do on a regular basis?
It's not. I love fitness. If anyone ever needs help, has any questions, but I kind of feel the same way about fitness as I do the dietitian thing. And this is why I haven't really been sharing a lot of nutritional information on Instagram and on my social media outlets, is because I am not a dietitian yet. And there are so many dietitians out there. I'm just going to keep pushing for, if someone's a fashion blogger, don't take nutrition advice from them. Like, so with the fitness thing, I've been studying for the certified personal trainer exam, but I'm not a personal trainer yet. So it's kind of, if people ask me like, what do you do? I'll tell them. I've trained 2 people, but I let them know up front, like, I know a lot about this, but I'm not certified. Are you still cool with that? I might, eat my words later, but I really don't want fitness to be part of my job. I know fitness and food go hand in hand, but fitness is like my only hobby I enjoy.
Yeah, it's your release.
Right. So I don't want to make it work. And honestly, like, I just like to work out by myself, you know, like I want to do what I got to do. You know, if you need help, message me, but I don't know if I'll be training anyone.
That's fair. I mean,
soon.
Like you say, that's your alone
It's
time.
like the only thing I like.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
it's what I do.
Freeing
as
your
soon as
headspace,
Spencer takes a nap every day, I'm like, take my BCAAs and like, let's do this.
There you go. That's awesome. I guess what are your goals with being a dietitian? You know, or I don't know where you can go with that. You know, where do you want to go with that?
The field is actually there's a wide variety of things that you can do. And so that's kind of what's so cool about it. And the growth of this field is just booming right now. So you can be a clinical dietitian. So you can work in a hospital. You're going to be administering feeding tubes, doing the calculations for people's energy needs. And, you know, I'm really interested in diabetes, gestational diabetes, which is diabetes that occurs during pregnancy. I'm interested in that.
That's talking on that diabetes during pregnancy. That's not always something that's like the mother's diabetic. It's like just random.
Well, what happens is it's like the hormones, you know, you have different hormones going on during pregnancy. So it's kind of like they interfere with your insulin and stuff like that. And so you start to have glucose intolerance. The prevalence increases with, you know, if you're not at a healthy weight, if you don't eat well, stuff like that, but they don't really completely understand why it happens. But I'm just interested in it, and I'm interested in research. So I'm crazy, I know, considering maybe pushing on and getting my PhD. I'm really interested in research and food science, and, you know, they're finding new things all the time, you know, like fortifying cereals with folic acid to decrease the occurrence of spina bifida. I mean, stuff like that, you know, enriching milks with, you know, you've got your EPA and your DHA, which are your healthy fats. So just trying to figure out what foods can be fortified and stuff like that. Like, I would love to be a food scientist.
So I take it that
complete food nerd.
You're not an anti-vaxxer.
No. No.
I knew that being a mother, you would have a take on that. So
yeah.
People are, I know it's
to each his own, but
yeah,
my baby's getting shots.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree more.
I mean, I got him. I'm fine. Yeah. I guess. Am I fine?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So I guess talking about researching more, I mean, that was kind of why I guess I asked you, and I'm surprised that you don't take other supplements, I guess, is because, I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff out there, and, you know, there's not necessarily anything that I'm taking right now that I could suggest to you, but I'm just saying, like, I know there's I don't know if you're aware of, like, Onnit, like brands like Onnit, and, like, there's just a lot of stuff.
That's the one that Joe Rogan's part of.
Yeah, but there's this other thing that I've dabbled with a little bit. It's a company called Plants, basically.
Yeah.
And they make tinctures out of different, like, mushrooms and stuff like that. And like I've taken this tincture that's like, I quit drinking caffeine just about completely. Like, I don't drink coffee. And the only caffeine intake that I get is from kombucha because it has a little bit of green tea in it.
Kudos to you, because if I stopped drinking coffee, like, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I mean, I don't have to go all day, every day like you do. I
have 2 a day. Like clockwork. It's bad. Well, no, actually,
you're not drinking
I'll
Bang
admit,
now, are you?
you know, I'm not, what?
You're not drinking Bangs,
No. Which I don't really know anything about that. It's just like an energy drink, right?
Yeah, but it has like BCAAs
and
and creatine and all kinds of
my gosh.
crazy
Okay.
stuff.
Well, see, like I just try to eat, like what I was saying, like people try to overcomplicate it. And yes, sometimes it is impossible to sit down and eat how many vegetables and how many fruits you need, but those are the most important foods because they have all the antioxidants that are going to fight the inflammation and the disease forming free radicals in your body. But my problem with supplements is that they're not regulated. So it's kind of hard to know what's good and what's not. I don't really take supplements because I try to eat a crap ton of veggies and fruits during the day. Just, a lot of them I try to eat raw, like broccoli and cucumber and carrots.
Do you juice at all?
No.
You don't do any juicing?
No. I just try to really keep it simple. Like,
from what I remember, like, you kind of grew up that way too, though, right? Like, your upbringing was pretty clean eating.
Yeah, well, actually, my parents both were raised like Southern food. You got your chicken fried steak and your cabbage. But yeah, we always had vegetables, meat, bread.
For some reason, I feel like you didn't have Oreos at your house.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, we did.
Okay, fair enough.
We got some in the pantry right now. I'm not the food police. You want some Oreos? Eat some Oreos. Just don't eat the whole thing. You know. Look at the serving size on the back of the box. I think it's like 4 cookies maybe. Eat 4. Just pull 4 out. Put the box back in the pantry. Pour a glass of milk. Sit down with it, not in front of the TV. Enjoy those 4 cookies. Wait like 10 minutes. If you want another one, grab one more. But don't just sit and just like, get sucked into the TV and just like eating, like not really paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because that's what, I won't lie. Like, I have a problem with stress eating sometimes. I will literally sit on the couch with a spoon and Nutella and like I'll get an apple out. Like, I'm going to eat the apple with it. And then I'm just like, not a good habit. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, I'm going to throw you my diet out there,
okay.
and you can break it down. And the people out there are going to hear this and say, damn, Dan, you're boring. I go and get some organic chicken tenders, and I bake them.
Okay.
And just salt and pepper on them.
No.
And then I'll usually eat like 3 chicken tenders.
Mm-hmm.
This is for dinner. 3 baked chicken tenders, 2 pieces of bacon fried. And
is this because you're a keto?
Yeah, it's just because I literally eat
Get
bacon.
some
with
bacon,
like
dip it in mayonnaise.
Yeah, I hate mayonnaise.
Okay.
Bell pepper and onion, chop it up.
Wonderful.
Saute it. Spinach. Lately, a whole avocado.
Yeah.
And a little bit of spicy ranch.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a serving size on avocado is like 1/4 of it.
See, that's like, I keep doing this, and I'm like, I don't want to eat this.
Spencer will eat a whole avocado if I let her.
That's crazy.
She's 2.5. We'll eat the whole thing.
I just don't have a way to save it.
Well, okay, so if it turns a little brown, as soon as like oxygen hits it, it's going to start bruising a little bit. If you put it in a Ziploc, try to get all the oxygen out, put it in the fridge, it'll be good until the next day. The brown parts might freak you out a little bit, but it's perfectly fine.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, just eat half. Yeah. But no, all that sounds great. Now,
I literally eat that like Monday through Thursday.
Look, whenever I was living by myself, when Ryan was playing ball and stuff, I'd be at home by myself. I would literally eat chicken, asparagus, and brown rice like every single night. It was just so easy. So, lemon pepper, like the same spices every night. But I'm a creature of habit, so I completely understand.
Yeah.
What you eat for breakfast? Do you eat breakfast?
I don't really eat breakfast. I've been doing fasting, intermittent fasting. Mm-hmm. So I try to eat dinner before 7, and then I don't you're gonna kick my butt for a lunch, but like lunch, I eat fast food every day because I have to go buy lunch for my crew. Yeah, and it's just a whole lot easier that way. So I'm eating Cane's and Southern Classic. Have you ever,
if you have to buy for them, have you ever thought about just meal prepping for lunch? I'm awful at lunch. Yeah. I will admit it. Sometimes the problem that I, would have would be I would just like work through lunch, like be doing schoolwork or be busy with Spencer. And then I'd look up and it's 2:00 and I'm hangry and I'm like, get me a Johnny's pizza here now. I'm like, eat the whole thing. Yeah. No. But I just started meal prepping for myself for lunch because I'm terrible about lunch. Breakfast, I'm cool. It's like my favorite meal of the day. Dinner, obviously I have to fix something because of Ryan and Spencer, but lunch is difficult. But if you were to meal prep for yourself and you have that, you could be like just like eat that for a week and see how much better you feel whenever you go back to work, and remember that feeling. So whenever you have to go to Chick-fil-A or Cane's or wherever, you're not like super duper tempted to get it. Even though it's going to sound good, you'll be like, yeah, but I'm going to feel like crap. Like I have my lunch.
That's fair.
And you can save money.
Yeah.
Too. Meal prepping. Goodbye.
Well, but see, I don't pay for lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
another.
That's my biggest kicker is like I'm saving all this money.
Yeah.
And period.
Yeah, and there's not really healthy choices at Cane's unless you were to like slide all the skin off the chicken but I mean the toast, and it's like nothing but carbs. Like think about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cane's is good though.
No doubt. Almost had it today.
I'm not the food police. I mean, I literally was just on the phone with my friend earlier, and I was like, Cane sounds amazing right now. And I was like, you know what? If I still want it by Friday, we're eating it for dinner. That's what I told her.
I guess it's got to help, like, kind of living far away from most of the fast food restaurants as well.
Yes, it does. Ryan's really the one who's like, I just don't want to have to clean anything up after. Can we just eat out? And I'm like, no. Like, I just went to the grocery store and planned all these meals, If you put effort into stuff like meal prepping, you're going to be like, I'm not letting that go to waste, man. I'm going to eat that.
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely feel that way
about
the food that I buy from the grocery store.
Yeah, I will make something the last day, like before we go grocery shopping, that makes absolutely no sense. And Ryan's like, what is this? I'm like, it's everything we had left in the fridge. So
there's been plenty of times where I've had like 1 or 2 chicken tenders left over in the fridge, and it's like Thursday afternoon, Friday. I'm like, whatever, let's just do it. So
yeah,
cool. I don't know. You got anything else you want to touch on? I don't know. I guess, this is something that I think about often, and I don't know the answer to it, and maybe you can shed some light on it, but like, I listened to the news on the radio a lot this morning. I heard that Arkansas did not pass a law to ban candy and sodas from their SNAP program. So we're talking about low-income people already, right. And some, they want to buy a Coke or a candy bar or whatever, they can do it on their SNAP card. And it's just something that I guess how do you, if you see an option there to reach like low-income people and to start to change their diet, because a lot of people just like go live off McDonald's, like
right.
straight
well,
up.
I volunteer at the Food Bank of Northeast Louisiana, so they're who does a lot of the SNAP program, the backpack program, the older adult program, but I guess what they're trying to do there is still give them the freedom to make choices. We have the luxury, if we wanted a candy bar, that might be the only way that they can buy food.
Yeah.
And if they want a candy bar, I guess they should be able to have one. Yeah. Is probably what they're thinking.
That's fair. I guess I wasn't necessarily looking at it from that
now angle. If it was like they would like letting them buy like cigarettes and alcohol, I'd be like,
right, yeah. That's something
that's a little different. But yeah. I guess since it's food, it's still considered food. And then it's like if you can't buy candy and sodas, where do you draw the line? Like, why should they be able to buy cake? Why should they be able to buy, whatever? So it's I guess they're just trying to give them the freedom to still purchase what they would like to eat.
Yeah.
As far as reaching low income people, I mean, it's sometimes it's hard to get people to accept help. I've seen that at the food bank. There are actually some families and stuff and people that qualified for SNAP, and they just, I guess it's just like a pride thing, and I can't say how I would feel. I've never been in that position, but I mean the food bank needs volunteers, and the more people helping out, the more people that can be reached and more work that can be done. So I would just say go up there and volunteer. It's a fun atmosphere, and yeah,
that's something that you mentioned, like we don't know like that mental outlook on life.
No, I've had to do a few projects where they would give me a budget of like $4.73 that I had to eat on for lunch. Could I possibly make a healthy lunch out of that? she gave us, my professor gave us a few restaurant options like Wendy's, McDonald's, whatever. I chose Wendy's because I know they have the salads, and Wendy's actually has like healthier options. You know, they they have a fruit cup now, I believe, with like strawberries and blueberries and stuff. But yeah, it is difficult.
They also have 5 different flavors of lemonade.
What?
Yeah.
What? I didn't even know you could. I mean, how much? Strawberry, raspberry, regular,
peach.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I might get down with that.
Yeah, I think there was like a mixed berry or a mango or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Huh. But yeah, I had to do that, and it was difficult. And I mean, I did have a hard time trying to get all of my food groups. I will say that farmers markets allow, you know, a lot of those programs, they have deals with farmers markets where these people will get coupons so you can go buy your produce. So you're supporting local, and at the same time, it's supporting lower income people, which I think is wonderful.
I saw that recently for the Ruston Farmers Market. Mm-hmm. They announced that on their Instagram that they were taking SNAP, and you get like some wooden coins or something.
Yeah, I know like WIC does it too, which I think that's great. I think community gardens are wonderful. I know that there's 1 or 2 in Monroe, so I wouldn't mind like maybe starting one of those eventually.
Have you ever done any gardening like that?
No, I have a countertop garden. Did you see my basil?
Okay. I guess I missed
it's like a click and grow. Like you don't do anything. You can like work it from your phone. I actually don't really have a green thumb, so I'm working on it. I kind of kill everything I touch, but that's where Ryan helps me. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast one time. We were talking about Kyle Thierman earlier. I think it was his podcast, but it was this guy in Ireland, I believe, and he runs a community garden in the sense that he runs like a community farm and like supplies all of food for like 10 different families.
That's amazing.
In the community. So, and that's something that I guess I've, kind of thought about a lot is if everybody is taking care of the people around them.
Yeah.
And obviously it gets really tricky in cities and larger populated areas, but I guess in rural areas it's really simplified in that manner that if 10 families live in a 10-15 mile radius, everybody can be taken care of from one farm. Everybody's supporting each other, and it builds a better community and healthier people because you know where your food's coming from and what's been done to it and that kind of deal. So that's
I fully like when the farmers markets open back up, like go get all the produce you can from there.
Yeah.
And what you can't get from there, then try to go to another farmer's market. If you can't get it from there, then go to the grocery store.
Yeah. That's definitely something that I need to start to do more often and I know farmers, and I've been to the farmers market. It's a great time, especially the Ruston one. And now the Louisiana Tech greenhouse actually sells like kale and stuff like that. Yeah, they're starting to sell a lot of leafy greens and vegetables and stuff.
That's amazing.
So
love Tech.
My friend Amelia Pierce, she was on the podcast. She works over there. So
cool.
It's it's bringing the community together and everybody eats.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal.
Yeah. Well, food's definitely a social thing, especially where we live.
Yeah.
It's every celebration, like Mardi Gras, you get your king cake, it's always in your face, but there's ways, to get around it. Like if you're invited to a party, maybe bring some, a healthier option so you can expose people to a healthier option,
Bring the bucha instead of the beer.
Yeah. Something I always suggest is like there's these carrots and you can get them in like all different colors and just bring that with some hummus. Like people will be like, oh my gosh, these carrots are so cool. And like it'll make them want to try it, you know? And I don't even really like I kind of have an aversion to carrots, but I'll eat them with hummus. So
those purple potatoes.
Those are so crazy, right?
They are. They taste good.
Yeah, they are good. I accidentally bought them one time, and I was like, "What are these rotten? Like, what is going on?" And then I was like, oh my gosh, they're purple. They're pretty though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about color and stuff, I don't really think, I mean, those were like made to be purple. Those aren't really like purple.
Fair
enough. But the colors, like all the different colors of fruits and vegetables, they're going to, like I was saying, they're going to have like different antioxidants. So carrots are different than green grapes. They're different than sweet potato and strawberries and whatever. So that's why color is important, so you can get all of those antioxidants.
Did I see you say that bell peppers have more vitamin C than oranges?
They do. Red bell peppers have more vitamin C than oranges. You know, everything that you see that's repping vitamin C, it's like an orange. Like, no, move out of the way. Let's put a red bell pepper on it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know. I thought that was crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, you posted that, and like that, I live off of bell peppers and onions, so I was like, all right, good deal. Because
onions,
I don't like to go to the doctor or anything like that.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, like the color that people eat the least is white. So onions, cauliflower, stuff like that. Onions have a lot of antioxidants in them, and I didn't really realize that because you don't really think of them as like a food, because you're not just going to sit down and eat onions. You eat them with something. Yeah. You know, so it's almost been more like a spice to me, like a flavor adder. But yeah, they have a lot of antioxidants, so I put some onions in the food you're taking home.
All right.
Too tonight.
Yeah, Madeline made me a to-go plate.
I did.
Super thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about getting some sushi on the way back, but not anymore.
Well, you could just put this in the fridge and take it for lunch tomorrow.
Hey.
Yeah.
Sometimes I watch this guy. He's a vlogger. His name's Casey Willax. He's like a snowboard surfing guy, but he's living out of a van currently. And he was just driving down the road and just reached back, grabbed a red bell pepper, and just took a huge bite out of it.
I'll eat them raw.
Straight
Look,
raw.
I cut them up and I'll eat them with hummus.
Yeah.
Or I'll eat them raw.
Yeah.
You kind of have to. If you love bell peppers, I bet you could do it.
Yeah.
Most people couldn't. There's a girl that I follow on Instagram. Her handle is Shut the Kale Up. She's amazing. I love her, like my long lost sister. She has a 3 or 4 year old little boy, and she videoed him. He was in the pantry, and she was like, "Let's see what he picks." He went and got a red bell pepper and was eating it like an apple.
Wow.
He's like 3 or 4. I could never get Spencer to do that.
So like, yeah, how do you get Spencer to like try new things, and like I'm sure you have to get creative.
I do. So I mean, you know, I'm having to do like cauliflower shrimp fried rice to get her to try, you know, to eat the cauliflower tots, broccoli tots, cauliflower pizza, just any way that she'll eat veggies. Yeah. I mean, she's not as bad as most kids, but I mean, she's still a kid, so she wants like chicken nuggets, french fries, macaroni, PB&J, you know. She loves eggs and avocados, but I do have to get creative, like you were saying. A lot of the time though with kids at this age, it's like they're a teenager. They're going through this similar thing, so they want control. They want to see how far they can like push you, you know, until they'll get their way. Yeah. So if she's like acting like, you know, no, I don't want to eat that, I'm like, all right, get up then. I'll take her food and set it up. I'm like, you must not be that hungry. Yeah. And then like 5 minutes later, she'll be like, I'm hungry. So yeah, she's learning. We haven't really been having those problems here lately, but for a while it got bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Kids are funny.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're grateful that you get to spend a lot of time with her.
I am. She starts OCS in August. She's going to go to pre-K 3 right before I start my internship, and I'm going to cry more than she does for sure. For like, I mean, I don't start my internship till like the middle of September, so those like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be like in the fetal position. Yeah. Crying.
Yeah. Do you plan on sending her to OCS till she graduates?
I loved it. Ryan went to OCS whenever he was younger, and he got asked to leave when he was in 4th grade. So yeah, I've asked the principals if we need to like enroll her under my last name and stuff, because they actually like liked me, you know. No, but we're gonna start her there. I love the school, you know, all the teachers genuinely love the kids. I'm still close to a lot of them, and I know that any of them would do anything for her. So I feel very safe sending her there. Just because it was a good fit for me, though, doesn't mean it's going to be a good fit for her.
Yeah.
I'm open to other options, but right now we're just going to do OCS.
That's something that it always runs through my mind about, like, obviously y'all both went to public school. I didn't realize that he had gone to OCS earlier. But
yeah, he went to OCS kindergarten through 4th grade.
Okay.
But he was mooning girls on the playground and calling 911 on the payphone and karate kicking people on the playground. So, yeah.
He was a wild child.
Yeah.
I went to public school my whole life, and I'm very thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I guess the more I think about it, I have plenty of other really good, completely social friends that went to public or private schools or all boys schools or whatever. So I guess it's all about how you were raised and.
Yeah, I'm glad that I got both. Sometimes I almost prefer for Spencer to have both. I actually went to private kindergarten, 1st grade, public 2nd through 10th grade, and then finished private. But yeah, I mean, when I first moved to OCS, I was like, none of these people understand the real world at all.
Yeah.
Like, I was just angry,
Yeah.
But
you went from like a freshman class of like 550.
Yeah, I graduated with 43 people.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Like, I loved everybody in my grade. Like David Barnes, Austin Etier, all of them.
For sure.
Olivia Hubbard. You know. But I'm glad that I got both. And I kind of realized when I got to OCS, like I said, like, these people don't understand the real world. Then I started to realize how fast I had grown up, and maybe I hadn't grown up too fast, and maybe they weren't the only one with the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So 10th grade but 11th grade and 12th grade were wonderful.
Yeah.
So
that's good. I was sad to see you leave.
Yeah.
It's like we had a bunch of classes that freshman year, and like Hunter Vaughn was involved in that too.
Goofy.
I'm just thinking about that just now. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to reconnect, and I'm glad that we've been able to continue our friendship as long as we have.
Yes.
And, I look forward to seeing where you go with your dietitianship. I don't know.
That's fine. That works.
Yeah. Spencer's a very, very cute little girl.
Thank you.
I know she's going to have a wonderful life growing up because she has some wonderful parents. So,
thank you. That's so sweet.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you spitting us some knowledge.
Of course.
I hope some people out there learned something. I know I did. So.
Yeah, me too. Good.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, and maybe we'll see you later.
All right.